Hi, I'm Turk Strongman at Thrank Amateur Excuse me. Thank you for selecting this video on how to find your true place in society, or more specifically in your own community. Before starting, if by the end of this you like the video, then please give it a thumb up. And if you haven't done so already, then please subscribe to the channel now. Activate the notification feature by clicking on that bell, and share the joy of the channel with others. Comment if you like. Those things having been humbly requested. Now, on finding your true place in society, or more specifically in your own community. Well, I haven't put a lot of thought into this before starting. I was asked the question, and I'm going to wing an answer here. Let's see how it goes. So let's say you are a person who seems to be wired so differently from others that others often just don't understand you, and you risk becoming a social outcast because of it. So then the question arises, how can I find, in the light of that, or in that context, how do I find my true place in society? All right. Addressing the question. Okay. First of all, see my video on being a complicated person in a simple, what is it? Hang on. Interacting with simple-minded people. There, I think that's it. Interacting with simple-minded people. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's in my personal atmosphere playlist, Interacting with Simple-Minded People. The thumbnail says, on purpose, dumbing down. All right. Let's group being wired differently than most other people, such that you're often not even understood. Let's put that in with being a more complicated thinker or feeler or doer, analyzer, synthesizer than others. Let's just put that in with, this being, let's put this in with that you're just different. That's similar to potentially coming across differently at different times. Let's just say you're different all the time. Okay, the same principle applies here as what's in that video. Take a look at that video, because it suggests adopting middle-of-the-road perspectives on affairs, so that you don't come across either as unstable or just misfiring all the time. Think about, observe other people. Observe the majority of people. And most people are pretty simple-minded. They're average. And most people tend to stay that way, if they already are. They're average. They're not too extreme one way or the other. And let's say here in this case, you are seen as an extreme almost all the time. In other words, you're off out there somewhere on the edge with respect to other people. You're different. That can be seen as an extreme, just one that doesn't change much. It's always the same extreme. All right. Well, observe other people. Take note to what is middle of the road. Take note to the way most other people are, and learn to think along those lines. This doesn't mean change you. This means add on to you. Add this in to your mental atmosphere. Add this into your conceptual matrix. Make an addition. Fit this in. And find these perspectives, this way of being that seems to be the predominant way of going about things and thinking in your society or your immediate community of people. Learn to find this within yourself and add that to the way you can interact with others. And practice it. Practice it. It's a social thing. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to indicate or mean a shift of you, like as in giving up what's already there. No. You add this in. Now, isn't this a matter of fooling people or fooling yourself? No, it doesn't have to be. It can, but don't do it like that. See it as an evolvement of the way you can be with people. And do that on purpose. Do it on purpose. You need cooperation from others in life. You need acceptance into your society and community, unless you're one of those who just does not care what other people think. Well, some people say they don't, but they do. People need social acceptance, and there are a lot of reasons for that. You know, sometimes it has to do with a person's self-confidence, self-esteem, you know, getting jobs, pursuing a career, excelling in your career, getting social cooperation, getting respect. These things are important. Okay? So, do what it takes. And no, you don't have to be fooling yourself. No, you're adding a new dimension to the way you interact with others. Okay? All right, that's number one. Let's see, what else can we do? Practice what I call the mood of calm confidence. Look for my video on the mood of calm confidence, the calm attention technique. That's in the name of the video, the calm attention technique. Calm, C, attention, A, technique, T, cat. Take a look at a cat. They have incredible calm attention, especially with respect to anything they playfully or seriously consider to be prey. Calm attention. It's hard to distract a house cat when it's looking at a fly or a speck of dust or something that you can't even see. It's hard to distract them. All right, calm attention. This builds into a mood of calm confidence. Look at the video. Follow its instruction. The point of that here in answering this question is the confidence part, mostly. The confidence part. When you act confidently, when you feel confident about yourself, others will notice. If you happen to be wired a little differently than most, but you're not nervous about it, people will tend to accept it more. Especially if over time they take note that your way of going about things, your way of talking, the things you talk about, your point of view has its merits. For example, with my brother, I used to talk to him about affairs in the world, deep affairs, consciousness hijacking, perception, deception, what families who have been involved in our government have been up to behind the scenes at first, he just did not take me seriously. But then he looked into some of this on his own, talked to some of the people he knows, and found that I was right. And I've been confident about it myself, about these things. Like, yeah, I'm telling you facts. This is the way things are. Well, he now takes me seriously and says to others some of the same things that I had been saying to him. He found that I was reliable. He found that my information was reliable, even though it seemed to be quite different from his point of view to whatever his community of people in his life had been, as far as he knew, until he asked, had been espousing. That's number two. Confidence. And another point about that, another example. Some people, I've noticed, are very overweight. Let's just take a look. A specific case that I recall is long ago when I went to nightclubs, dancing places and stuff, long ago, where you drink and dance. Dance, prance, and romance. There would be some heavyweight people there, overweight people, fat, obese. And often, I noticed that often they're a bit shy. They feel a little low self-esteem over this. And maybe, a fat girl gets out on the dance floor and she doesn't move around much. And she doesn't want to draw too much attention to herself. She doesn't want her boobs bouncing too hard against her belly. She doesn't want her skirts flying up, showing the thick thighs too much. Doesn't want her big butt to bang into people too much. Nah. All right, so other people notice this. Maybe they don't ask her to dance much, all right? But then some fat guy gets out there and he's just perfectly fine. He's fine. People are drawn to him, in fact. He gets out there and he kind of takes over the show. He's full of self-confidence about all this. People seem attracted to him. They would like to have that kind of an attitude about themselves, even if they're not fat. This is the difference that confidence can make. Maybe that guy is soft-wired. In other words, tissue-wired. Fat tissue-wired a bit differently than most other people. But he had confidence about it. He's okay. So, you can practice this. Be okay. Be okay. Now, if you put all these things together that I just said, kind of tone it down, adopt into your manner of being the predominant manner of being of the society that surrounds you and in which you are a part and would like to remain a part, become a greater part of, plus calm attention, mood of calm confidence. Put these all together and, Aristotle, the philosopher Aristotle, said that society works best when its members are engaging, do what they're best at doing, or what they're good at doing, what they like to do, what they're best at. Then as a group, as a society, it works more smoothly, it's more productive. So, never stop getting better at the things you're not good at, that you would like to be good at. But also, in society, seek to do what you are good at. People will like this. People will accept this. People will see the usefulness of you being a part of that society. If what you're good at just doesn't make any money and it's not going to get you anywhere, then, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Well, that applies to several things here now, right? That I've already said. And if you need to develop interest along these lines where you have no great interest currently, well, you can develop interest by engaging in a thing, paying attention to what you're doing, being present in your life in doing this thing, and find what is of interest about it. Interest to you about it. You can always find something of interest in what you're doing. If you don't like to clean the toilet, and so you just don't, because you have no interest in it. You're not interested in cleaning the toilet, but you got to clean the toilet. And you don't like to do things you have no interest in. In fact, how do you place your attention on something if you're not interested in it? That's pretty hard to do. But you need to place your attention on it. You need to attend to it. Well, find what is of interest about it to you. Such as, you like to use your hands. Well, you got to use your hands to clean the toilet. Not that you're going to scrape shit off the inside of the toilet bowl with your fingers, but you got to use your hands somehow. Okay, so if that's of interest to you, then focus on that part of it until you develop interest in the overall activity. Perhaps you like to sit. How about this? Your wife likes to sit on a clean toilet seat. So, pleasing her, accommodating her, giving her a clean toilet to sit on. Let's say she has no hands, so she can't do it herself. But you like to accommodate her desires. Then focus on that part, which is of interest to you. It is in your interests. Okay, so in doing something that you need to do in order to better fit in productively for yourself and others, but you have no interest in a certain thing or very little interest in it, then find what is of interest about it, some aspect of it that does fit into your interests, and focus on that part. These are all things that you can do. Put them all together. Put them all together the best you can. Practice them individually for a little while. And get back, and then put it all together. Does this mean you're being phony? Well, if you are being phony about it, then be real about it. These things exist within you somewhere, however remotely. Find them. Be genuine, but if you have to fake it until you make it, that's okay too. Transitions, additions to our being, take time. There is an aspect of faking it at first. I mean, you have to place attention on it. You have to maybe really attend to these things at first. And it might feel a little fake at first. But no, it's a genuine movement you're making. Okay? I hope this helps. I hadn't even thought about this much before I started. But I hope that I've provided some useful information in this direction. There may be more on this subject to come, so stay tuned for at least that. If you like this video, remember, give it a thumb up. And all the rest of that administrative type stuff, that business, okay? And there you have it. Thank you again for selecting this video on finding your true place in society or in your immediate community. I'm Turk Strongman at Thranku Ramacharaka. Be well.